face. And I thought I had said something about her mama during that song or something. I remember, I wasn't sure. But she looked at me and she said, Henry, why are you working at Verizon Wireless? And she got up and walked away. She was mad. And I went and asked her afterwards, I said, well, tell me why you asked me that. She says, Henry, somebody with a talent like yours should not be working for anyone else. You ought to be writing your own paycheck. She said, if I had that talent, you would not be looking at me right now. She was not playing. Speaking of talents, will y'all all do me a favor? Listen, I know y'all like American Idol. I used to like to watch it too. And y'all love the people who get up there and really be trying really hard. And praise God, bless them. But you do more laughing than enjoying. Y'all tell people the truth about their talents. Tell people the truth and quit playing with people cheering. Tell people the truth. Have people stand up on that stage and letting Simon Cowell do his thing. That was totally dreadful. I believe that was the worst sound I have ever heard in my life. And these people get up there and swear they can sing. They mean it too. They don't be playing. But I remember we were playing basketball one morning and a fella broke out and started singing. And I looked at him after he finished singing. I said, man, Chantel, you have a tremendous gift in another area. We just need to work with you a little bit and find out what area that is, because it's not singing. I just believe in telling people the truth. I want somebody to tell me the truth. So I believe Lionel and Marissa told me the truth. Listen, I was watching a movie the other day, and this is just a quote just jumped out and grabbed me. A fellow was talking to a guy. He was assigned to teach this fellow and began to teach this guy that he is a man and not what other people said that he was. And he looked at this gentleman and he said, man, you remember when you used to find these little pieces of wood, man, and you'd carve stuff out of them and you'd make a slingshot out of those? You remember that? And the fellow said, yeah, I remember that. He said, listen, everybody on earth is like a piece of wood. We don't become something special, something beautiful, something better until we decide to be. And that's what we need you to do. We need you to decide to put your talents to work. Every one of you. Every one of you, when you were born or so, or somewhere around there, you were like a drifted piece of wood. And there wasn't much of anything that was standing out. But over the time, as you began to do what you love to do, and as you began to listen to other people, you started to take shape, and you became something different. And that is what we all need you to do. Why do I say we all? Because let me ask you this. Answer this question in your heart. How will this ministry function without your talents? No matter how large or small your role, some people are wallpaper people or paint people. They stand out front. Some people are 2x4 people. They are the ones who support the ones who are standing out front. Okay? And some people are infrastructure people. They are the frame. You don't really see them unless you look for them. They're not real pretty. They don't have a bunch of paint. And they're not real strong necessarily up front where you can bang on them, but they structure. They hold up the whole thing. Accounting holds up this whole structure. Accounting, being accountable. People in the background running. You don't see a lot of the ministry team a lot of times, but they are holding up a certain portion of this ministry. You saw all the hands who raised their hands and said, hey, I came to visit this church as a result of hearing you on the radio or watching you on television. But they're not up front. So everybody is not up front, but you supply a certain talent. So how would this ministry be different without your talent? And as you think about how different this family would be, I hope it would inspire you to ask this question. How do I make a plan? How do I make a plan? When I find out where my talents are based upon listening to other people and doing what I love, how do I put this plan together? And the first thing I recommend is that you simply find a mentor or a life coach. Find somebody who you can spend some time with. Maybe it may not be more than 1 hour a month. Just be able to sit down and talk to some people about who you are, the talents that they see in you, and how they might be able to help you put your talents to work. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 18. Let's read that together. Plans succeed through good counsel. Don't go to war without wise advice. Don't do it. Putting your talents to work, and especially if you want to get into the area where your talents can bring you money and actually use those talents to pay your bills. Now, I'm not paying all of my bills with either speaking or singing, but I'm well on my way. But it has not been easy. It has been like war. And the biggest enemy has been the one who looks at me when I look in the mirror. War, y'all. Making my schedules, staying on time, doing the things that I need to do, writing articles, writing speeches, writing songs, practicing songs. It's war. It's not easy. There's a certain kind of weight that comes upon those sheets after your alarm goes off. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Those sheets get extra heavy, like right after you hit the off button. I don't understand that. It's war fighting that stuff off. You got to put one leg out first and kind of slide out from under them, you know. Maybe that's just me. I'm sorry. Sheets get heavy, man. And so what I did in reference to my talents, I joined Toastmasters, and immediately I was assigned a mentor. His name was Ned Wallace. And one of the first questions that I asked him was, Ned, how do I get to this world championship of public speaking that this fella talked about? Tell me how. And his answer to that question leads us to the next step in the formula. After having a plan, it's a good thing to endure the pain. Say that out loud. Endure the pain. Ned let me know that there are 5 levels of competition prior to the World Championship of Public Speaking. And the first step is to write a good speech, memorize it, and win at the club level. Write a good speech, you write it. I had to write it. Don't be plagiarizing. They'll find out. They will find out. Memorize it and win at the club contest. Now, the next stretch of my journey included, I kid you not, y'all, countless hours. This is where the pain comes in. When you're talking about pursuing goals, not many people are interested in pain, especially physical pain, but it comes with the turf. Countless hours of rewriting, rehearsing, and researching. I have a speech ready, hand it to my coaches, and they'd sit around that table, they'd read and pass it to the next person, and she'd read it and pass it to the other person, and the last person get the speech. Threw it behind her head and said, what else you got? Wow. I have spent 4, 5, and 6 hours writing that speech, and you're just going to throw it behind your head like that, huh? Just let it hit the floor. Okay. What else you got, Henry? Rewriting, rehearsing, and I'm talking about physical pain. I remember one night, man, I was trying to memorize my speech, and this was a little bit difficult. I was having trouble because the time was short, and I had headphones on. And man, I'd listen to that speech over and over again. I dictated my speech in a recorder over and over again that night. I listened to that speech and got up the next morning, and my ear, I felt like somebody had cut my ear off because I slept on that side, which I wasn't. I tried to sleep. I kid you not, I tried to sleep on my back, but I got comfortable and I curled up with those sheets, man.